Hi, everybody. This is Avrohom Czapnik from the Jewish Learning Exchange. I hope you and yours are well. This week is an action-packed week. This Shabbos is Parashas Tzav. It also has a special name, Shabbos HaGadol, the Great Shabbos, as it is the Shabbos before Pesach, the holiday of Passover. And I'd like to talk a little bit about Kedusha, holiness. Is it real? We can't see it, but radioactivity is also real, but you can't see it unless you have a Geiger counter. And spirituality is one of those things that if you have the right sensitivity, you can sense it, you can feel it, and you can sometimes see it. But how does a person become holy? It's a little hard to imagine, because holiness, we are physical beings with physical desires and physical needs. And holiness represents the idea of sanctifying and being dedicated to the divine. But the answer really lies in the Almighty gave us something, a tool. He took us out of Egypt not just to be free. He took us out of Egypt to serve Him. And to serve Him means He gave us the wherewithal with the Torah. When He gave us the Torah, those are the tools to help us be sanctified. And we know sanctity of place in this week's portion talks about holy sacrifices in the holy Mishkan and later on in the temple. And in our day and age, it could be in the synagogue or the study hall, and sometimes even in a special home. That can have sanctity. Sanctity in time, that's Shabbos. As a matter of fact, the word Kadosh, holy, is mentioned the first time in the entire Torah related to keeping Shabbos in the beginning of Genesis. And then there's holiness within ourselves. How do we develop that? Well, part of it is doing the commandments. We're going to make blessings. Blessed are you, Hashem, our God, that you sanctified us with your commandments to kindle the light of Shabbos or to kindle the light of the holidays, or sanctified us to eat the matzah or to eat the maror. So that is part of sanctity. There's also a sanctity related to elevating the mundane, the physical. And that is, are we eating just to feast, or are we eating also to have the strength to serve the Almighty with a proper blessing, with a kosher food and a proper blessing before and after? That also sanctifies us. And actually we have a connection to sanctity because we have each a chelek elokei mimal. We have a part of us that is holy, because we have part of God within us as well in our soul. So sanctity is something that we can access if we put the work to it. And I'd like to share a very beautiful story. There was a man, Rabbi Shlomo Lawrence. He was a member of the Israeli Knesset and was a person who worked hard for the Jewish community. And when he retired, he became close to a great rabbi who I actually had the honor of meeting and knowing a little bit and talking to, Rabbi Simcha Wasserman of blessed memory. Rabbi Simcha Wasserman was a very holy Jew and accomplished a lot, taught wonderful insights. He and his wife were very, very special. Unfortunately, they didn't have any children, but they lived their life partially in Los Angeles and eventually in Israel, and they passed away in Israel. Now, Rabbi Lawrence, who spent a lot of time getting to know Rabbi Wasserman and studying Torah together with him, he had a plot for himself and his wife on the oldest and holiest cemetery in the world, Har HaZeisim, the Mount of Olives Cemetery, right outside the walls of the old city of Jerusalem. And he told his children, he called his children and said, I'm not going to use that plot. I am actually buying a new plot in a different cemetery in Israel, Har Menuchos. They said, why? Har HaZeisim is such a special place. He says, I want to be buried next to Rabbi and Mrs. Wasserman, because they don't have any children who are going to come visit or pray at their gravesite. So if I am buried right next to them, when you will come visit me, you'll also pray in their gravesite. And this was just a beautiful, thoughtful, and holy thing to do. So much so that the Almighty worked things out in a very beautiful way, and worked it out that Rabbi Lawrence died the day before the Yartzeit, the year of remembrance of Rabbi Wasserman. And Rabbi Lawrence died on the first day of Cheshvan, which is Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the month, and many people have the custom of not going to the graveside. So it ended up being that his children would visit Rabbi Lawrence on the same day that Rabbi Wasserman passed, several years before. And this way they fulfilled their father's wish of praying by their father and by Rabbi Wasserman and his wife's graveside as well. Holiness is choices that we make to try to be holy and to be more godlike. And by doing that, we actually transform not only ourselves, but transform the world too. And as Rabbi Bender writes very nicely, figure out how to exist within society to be a father, a husband, a friend who is holy, and I am holy. The Creator invested us with holiness and planted us in a world we are meant to spread holiness, to invest our relationship and interactions with holiness. Rabbi Lawrence did that by switching where he was buried so that he could be near Rabbi Wasserman. And we can do it daily through being in holy environments, avoiding unholy environments, and doing wonderful things. May we have a wonderful Shabbos and a very happy and healthy and kosher Passover, and may we continue to bring holiness into the world. All the best.